Building life through a foundation of health with Mr. Dai Manuel.
What's up, Keith? How you doing, man?
Another Friday in the lab. I know. Hold on.
I lost you there.
Hold on. I had a lot of audio going on there. It was the other channel. It was something playing in the audio. But here's the point. I know that what's going on here? Hold on. All this audio, Mr. Manuel. There we go. Okay. There. Now I'm organized. I know you were having some technical difficulties this morning.
Oh, just a few. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. But it's all good. I'm here. You can hear it in my throat. I've had one of those weeks. And so I'm sounding a little bit coarse, but it's okay. It sounds worse than it feels.
That's exceptional. Building life through a foundational health. We're going to talk about today, Keith and Dai in the lab, the top 5 show in Afghanistan right now today. So we're still influencing Afghanis from around the world. Parents, Keith and Dai, the 2 Canadian guys, just serving up the advice over to our friends in Afghanistan.
Hey, Afghanistan.
I don't even know what to say to that, actually.
Who would have thought? It's I guess we got a couple downloads.
This is true. Yeah, this is true. All right, so we are here today to talk about building a foundation of health. But before we get into that, let's just catch up over the last week. How has dad life been for Dai Manuel over the last week? Last time we talked, you were about to exit the camera to pack the car because we know how helpful Christy and the kids were with packing the car, because we know how helpful our wives and our kids are with doing things, right? So I know that you just were so busy getting the car packed, you had to go to Kelowna. How was your weekend with your face is saying it all?
I'll tell you right now, man, it was a full house. I think at one point we had just over 30 people there, of which half of that is a bunch of little people, all 18 and under. And dude, it was a lot of fun. It was great. We got to stay at Christy's sister's place, Shauna and Ryan, and they got 2 boys that are teenagers. And then a bunch of our other siblings are there with their own kids. So it was a full house. But you know what the highlight? I got to do my Easter egg clues and the Easter egg hunt again. And I love doing that every year. If I've done it for my own kids, and now I get to do it for everybody else's kids in the family. And it was a roaring success on Sunday. So that was the highlight. What about you, Keith?
So it was a pretty quiet weekend. My kids are older, and Brookie was with her father on the weekend. So I know she had a wonderful Easter morning. But then we all got together. Mr. Manuel, I went on to mom and dad's house and had a big old family dinner on Sunday, which was great. I always enjoy mom's cooking. I know mom and dad are tuning in right now. I always enjoy mom's cooking. And it's just nice to get everybody together. We didn't have 30 people, but we sure had, 15, 12 or so, 12. Yeah, a bunch of people. That was good.
Doesn't matter how many are there. It's all family. And it's amazing when you get them all together, isn't it?
It absolutely is. It absolutely. And this is a good segue to, our topic of discussion today with, some actionable insights by the end, which is that building life through a foundation of health. And, maybe I go first, right? So my mom here recently has been just working herself through and love mom and so forth, obviously love mom, but she's been working herself just through the foundation of just aging and some how mom went tobogganing with me and the kids last two winters ago in Canmore. And I've always said that was my aspiration, was to be able to toboggan with my kids or my grandkids when I'm 75 or 80. And that to me, Dai, is to be able to do that. The foundation of health starts with that goal in mind. My words aren't coming out very clearly, but you know what I'm trying to say.
I do. And I think it's amazing that you have that sort of vision for yourself, because I think we have to recognize that it's the things that we do today that's going to impact the things of tomorrow, and I know it sounds very almost cliche-ish, and I know we've all heard variations of that. But the things about cliches, they're often true. Okay. It's rooted in truth. And what do we mean by that? Well, we know that health changes over time. It just does. But it can either regress back to a place of not being very healthy, or it can progress into a place of being more resilient and more healthy.
Yes.
It never stays where it is. So as much as you think, if I just do what I'm doing and everything will just stay as it is, you're wrong. Okay, so I hate to just drop it bluntly, but things just don't work that way. Things are always in a flux of change, and either you can be proactive in the change, or you can be a victim of the change. But either way, you're changing whether you like it or not. And so my invitation is, what are the things that we do to prioritize our health every day?
Hmm.
Because that ultimately is the foundation upon which everything is built. And if you have a very rocky, healthy foundation or non health foundation, we already know that you have less resilience in the other areas of life. You know, you get majorly sick and your income's dependent on you showing up to work 9 to 5. And now you can't show up to work 9 to 5.
Hmm.
Uh-oh, you know, your
Hmm.
financial health is now in deep risk because your physical health hasn't been maintained. But I can go on to emotional and psychological health and mental health. And I mean, we mean healthy in other areas, but it's this idea of physical mental health. You know, like that's what I prioritize for myself, my foundation, Keith. And I guess when you think about your health, what would be that foundation for you? Because I think we can talk about health in lots of different ways. We can talk about financial health,
Yeah.
psychological health, physical health, and I think all that matters. But for me, it's that physical health, right? That like
I,
what's going on inside my body,
yes.
inside my mind, because I know that affects everything.
I'm of the same place. We are completely drinking the same Kool-Aid there. What I've always aspired to do is help my friends who struggle with this concept because and this is,
Mm.
I want to select my words here,
Yeah,
because going for beer and wings is more enjoyable a few days a week instead of thinking about going tobogganing with your kids at 85 or 80. And I'm not suggesting you can't do both, but I
yeah.
tend to think once you go for beers and wings all the time, the building life through a foundation of health quickly evaporates. And I wish there was ways I could inspire some of my friends and family to think more of the building life through foundation of health and still going for beer and wings, but not choosing to not do the other. Do you follow what I'm saying?
I do. I do. And again, I know I hear this a lot after being in the
Yes.
health and wellness industry for 27 years.
Yes.
I've heard every objection or obstacle or excuse. And just so you
Mhm.
know, everybody, if you use an excuse more than once, it's now become a habit. All right. And I hate to break
Oh,
it to you. It's the truth.
yeah.
Truth.
Yes.
You know, a one-off excuse like my dog ate my homework, so I couldn't get to the gym. Okay. But if your dog starts eating your homework regularly and you can't make it to the gym, I think your dog's got a habit of eating your homework. All right. So,
Yes.
and I say
Yes.
this jokingly because I want to keep it light. Physical fitness, I know it isn't always something that we wake up in the morning thinking, gosh, I really want to go and do some running and some burpees, throw some weights around. I mean, I do wake up every once in a while and I do get excited for that, just full disclosure, but it's not my normal. Okay. It's not my normal because
Yes.
we do want to conserve energy. If we talk about the
Yes.
science, we've spent eons, like 100,000 years as Homo sapiens, and we've stressed out that we never get enough calories. So we try to do only as much as we need to
Right.
survive.
Yes.
But
Yes.
last I looked at the calendar, it's 2024. We don't have to worry about the bushes across the street that are shaking and a tiger jumping out and eating us. You know, I think the world's changed a little bit. So we have to adapt with it. And we
Mhm.
have to do things that we don't do like we used to. We don't move our bodies every day like we used to. We just don't. I mean, look at
Yes.
COVID. I don't think any of us came out of COVID healthier than we were when we went into COVID. In fact, I saw a lot of
Yes.
the opposite. Why? Because we just succumbed to the, oh, I guess I can't leave the house, so I'm not going to do anything. I'll just sit on the couch and watch Netflix, which I watched a lot of, by the way, during COVID. Not, but I also used my stairwell in our big apartment building as my exercise machine. You know, I still move my body. And I go off on a tangent here. And sorry, Keith, I get really passionate about this stuff.
Oh,
What
yes.
about you, Keith? Like in your health, you've been modeling healthy habits for your family for a long
Yes,
time,
it's important to me. It's
you
important to
know?
me. I say to my kids, it's again cliche, but it's true. Die. There's 720 minutes in a day. There's no reason you can't find 30 to get moving. Like honest to
Yes.
God, like there's no rocket science in that. And I'm going to recommend or suggest, ideate, if you do 30 minutes a day, every single day, you're more than likely going to build a life through a foundation of health. Unfortunately, we have a hard time finding 30. So I've learned, and I know you have as well. Again, giving some actionable insight and some ideas to our audience is, if you don't have 30 right now, then do 10 and then go to your
Right.
meeting and then go for another 10. Right. Like it's funny how you can actually find 5 and 10 minutes throughout the day
Oh yeah.
to end up with 30. And I use, and with no science, die around 30. Just my Apple Watch when I first got it was like, hey, move for 30 minutes. Okay, sounds good to me. 30 minutes, maybe 10,000 steps, but I'll just start moving 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then 30 becomes 60. 30 becomes 180, 30 becomes 120. You're like, okay, I get it. I see. But I had to start with 5 or 10 or 30, right? So that's right. And then I say to my kids, like, come on. Like if you're gonna sit and watch 340 minutes of YouTube,
Mhm.
you can give me 30 of movement. Or go watch YouTube and walk it, or go watch and walk at the same time.
That's right. It's and I love that cascading of habits can work really well, or compounding of habits. And one of my favorite things to do is to go for a walk, but listen to an audiobook. Because I want to read,
Yes.
but for me to sit down and read a book, I just in my day is challenging. But I can get out for a quick 30-minute walk, between
Yes.
appointments, and I'll throw on an audiobook for those 30 minutes. So I'm at least getting my steps in, at the same time getting some fresh air, at the same time filling my mind with something positive. And so
Yes.
it's just, how do we use our time, and can we be a little bit smarter or more effective with that use of time? Because again, I believe that we should live a life that we're feeling very fulfilled, happy, and joyful. So doing the things that create that for you are a good thing. We just have to recognize sometimes the things that we choose to do, if we do too much of it, it can offset the health, right? Like sitting on a couch or sitting on a computer, sitting in our car. We know we have to sit a lot in the day, just it's the way our lives
Yes.
are typically.
Yes.
We have to offset that. Okay. We have to.
Yes.
And I'm going to say we have to, because I don't know of anybody that can just sit there and get healthier by sitting there. I have yet to meet those people. Maybe they're out there. I haven't met them yet. And because if they've got a secret that I don't know about, I'd like to know the secret, please.
It looks, so again, actionable advice, gold nuggets for the audience. It looks to me like you largely use a stand-up desk.
I do. I cycle between sitting and standing throughout the day. I'll
Yep.
do maybe
Yes.
blocks of an hour, hour and a half standing, and then I'll do maybe 20 to 30
Yeah.
minutes seated. So it's
Oh
about
yeah.
a 30 to 70% split, roughly. But it didn't
Get
start
you a little bit
that
of
way.
awareness.
It didn't
Ah,
start
yeah.
that way. I had to build to that. Like if you just, it's like people on January 1st, I'm going to run 10K today and every day.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, well, how much did you run
Yes.
on December 31st? Oh, I ran this much, zero. Great. So good luck. Call me day two, right? Never got a call on
Yes.
day two, because they realize it's a bit much to start with. So staying with standing desks. I see a lot of people want to they get excited. I'm the guy work on a computer. I'm going to spend some of my time standing. It increases your metabolism, increases your focus. You get some steps in. A lot of great health benefits. However, if you've never done it before, standing still all day long can be really challenging. Bearing your weight on your feet like
Yes.
that all day
Yes.
long without any break can be challenging. So just try it. Maybe you start 70-30, right? Maybe you start 20 minutes
Yes.
standing, 40 minutes sitting, and you do that every hour. On the hour, you switch, and then over time build up, and like I've built up to a place now I can easily do 90 minutes to 2 hours standing, no problem. But I don't want to go much longer. Otherwise, I know by the end of the day, my legs feel really heavy, hips feel a bit tight,
Yes.
lower back might feel a bit tight. And so I've had to figure out my pacing. And everybody can
Interesting.
do this. Everybody can do this, Keith. It's so accessible
Yeah.
these days. It's great.
Well, and that's what I'm loving about the way you're recommending it, because you're making it really accessible to the audience. Like nobody's saying get up and go for a 5 mile walk. Just to
Yeah.
do what you can right now, and then add it up over every
Yeah.
single day, right? On Monday, on Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Thursday. Before you know it, 5 days later, you're much
Boom.
further ahead than if you didn't start at all.
And I love that, Keith, because that's the perfect message for everyone to take away from today, is that it doesn't matter what you
Yes.
do, it has a positive compounding effect over time. Those little
Yes.
daily
Yes.
deposits add up big time. I mean, we all like the idea of compound interest, right? Our money making us money,
There
making
you
us
go.
money, making us money. Well,
There you go.
what do we do to compound our health? And so it's just looking at the smallest of choices we do day after day. And if you make those more often leaning towards the side of health and health resilience, listen, you're going to be totally fine. You're going to be okay. You're going to notice that things trend the right direction. May not move as quickly as you want, but that's okay. Don't stress about how long it takes to get there. Just worry about, am I making it closer day by day? And if you're getting closer day by day, you've got it figured out. Don't worry about the rest. Just trust that doing the thing is going to reward you over time, which it will.
Mhm. I want to leave it here because it's not complicated.
Yeah.
You know, the goal here
Simple.
with actionable advice, it is. And if our words here today in the 15 minutes, 17 minutes we've been speaking, get somebody thinking about just getting their feet moving, you know, from a compound effect, then I think we've served our purpose. And oh yes, let's look at Dai Manuel's
I'm just
book.
gonna totally plug my book. I'm totally gonna do this
Awesome. Yes, do it.
shamelessly. And
Yes.
this picture was taken about that long ago. Okay, so like that long ago.
I
um,
was gonna wonder when it was taken.
anyways, I'm way fitter now than I was back then, though. Just so you guys know, I'm getting better with age. I'm maintaining that. My voice doesn't sound like it, but I am. I'm working on it. Where I'm going with this is the whole Life Fitness Manifesto is based on this idea of the 2% solution. So if you are challenged on how to use 2% of every 24 hours, so 30 minutes every 24 hours is 2% of your day. I've got a full 28-day program in my book, and I actually give it away for free. You don't have to buy it. I mean, I'd love for you to buy it, but obviously you don't have to. I want this information to be accessible to you. If you go back to my early episodes of the 2% Solution podcast, I narrate the whole book.
Yes.
Each episode's a chapter. It starts around episode 3 of my podcast, 2% Solution. So you can go listen to it, but if you want a copy of it, yeah, you got to buy it. Amazon, most bookstores, etc. But it will give you a full 28-day program, easy to follow. All you got to do is give me 30 minutes a day. If you can give me 30 minutes a day, I can give you health resilience in as little as 28 days. And does it stop at the end of 28 days? Of course not. Okay. It's a lifestyle, people. You got to keep going. But it will teach you how to leverage 30 minutes, the most effective way to improve your health mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So that's it. Thanks, Keith. Thanks for letting me plug, man.
I love that. I love that. I'm having some mouse problems here that I gotta rectify here live on the air here because I can't be my mouse is not working at the moment.
Oh,
But
no.
I love that. I think that so basically what you're saying to somebody, there's no barrier to entry to this. You've
Nope.
given them the complete solution right there in your book.
Mm-hmm. It's all there for you, paint by numbers. You don't even need any fancy equipment, which for those that know my background, for 17 years, I was a co-founder of a fitness equipment company. So you can imagine when I wrote this book, my partners in the company weren't very happy because I said, you don't need to buy any equipment.
No barrier to entry. There's no barrier to
You don't
no
need it.
barrier at all.
My business partner like, how the hell are we supposed to sell more equipment if you're telling people not to buy equipment? I'm like, yeah, I guess I should probably leave the industry, huh? But I jest because I still love equipment. I love the toys, but you don't need to be dependent on those for your health, you know? And I teach you how to use just your body because it's the best piece of machinery you'll have for life. But you do have to maintain it because it gets creaky
Yes.
and really creaky as it ages if you don't age well. So, anyways, more on that later.
You are not getting anything. So, Nation, you're getting nothing but real information from Dai. Dai leaves the industry where equipment is sold because all he has to say is you need your body. So, literally, as you're wrapping up today's show and you're listening to us, there's no reason for you to get moving because it's going to set a foundation of long-term health for you. So
that's it. That's it.
We're gonna get out of here, Dai. Man, I want to show you 2 things I've been working on, and then the third thing maybe we'll reveal it next Friday on the show. But check this out. We've been working on a few things on here on Live in the Lab. Check this out.
Boom! The Kurt O'Keelian death.
Yeah,
Whoa!
So didn't work as good as I was hoping it was going to work, but check this out. Okay, here, look at this one. Look at
that look good.
the show closer.
That's pretty nice, man. Look at that. That's the studio at Keith's place, everybody. That's what it looks like in his living room.
But here's the big one, my friend. I want it. So we've been having some great success with this, and we've been plugging our 2 dads show and everything. But check this out. Eat your heart out, network television.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I was about to say, I feel like I just logged on to watch like one of the old morning shows, right? Like, dude, that is so good.
It's cheesy as hell.
With any of the commercials though.
It's cheesy as F, but it's awesome.
Dude, I love it. I think we need more of a 70s theme there. I can see what you're going for, but
Yes.
I'm thinking like Welcome Back Cotter kind of vibe.
Oh, well,
Like,
wait till you see what I'm thinking
welcome
about for the
back,
two.
welcome back, welcome back.
Wait till you see what I'm building for the Two Dads Lab opener. Maybe we can have some fun with that, right? A couple dads in the lab here with some.
And we got to hear some plates dropping. That's all.
That's it. That's it.
Plates dropping
That
somewhere in
is
there. A little accentuate. That looks so
that's
good,
it.
Keith.
Thanks,
Dude.
man. Yeah, we're trying to get better here. Well, I laugh because it's we're just trying to show network television that that things are you can do things a little differently here in the new world. So even check this right. It's just all right. Everybody's cheering us out of here. Keith Bilous, Dai Manuel, Two Dads in a Lab, trying to be 2% better. We drop every Friday on YouTube podcast. We got a channel, Two Dads in a Lab YouTube channel. Every single Friday we're dropping stuff for you guys. And I invite you to check out our morning show, Mornings in the Lab, Monday to Friday with myself and Nicole. And then, of course, I do a Monday to Friday, 7 days a week show, live in the lab at noon. Dude, you're going to appreciate this. I got to tell you something quickly. So I have a guy on my show here this week, pro surfer Jeremy Ryan. So I say to him, I ask him a question. I'm like, so what are you scared of when you go in the water? Or what are you thinking of? Sorry, not scared. What are you thinking of when you go in the water to surf? I'm thinking sharks. I'm thinking, drowning. I'm thinking of bad things, right?
Yeah.
He says to me, oh, I'm thinking of empathy.
Oh, there we go.
I'm like, what? He's like, oh, yeah, I'm thinking about empathy. I'm thinking about giving waves to the other surfers. I'm like, what? You talk about incredible human beings that you stumble upon, you have conversations with that I just love. This guy goes in the water as a pro surfer. He says to me, he goes, yeah, I know I'm a good surfer and others know I'm a good surfer. He says, so I get great joy in giving others the opportunity to take the big waves.
Nice. Good man.
Empathy.
Good man.
So not sharks, not drowning, empathy. There you go.
I think that's beautiful. I love that. I love that. I'm just going to give away my waves today. I'm just going to sit here and watch everybody else have fun.
That's it.
And that brings some great joy. No, but I appreciate that.
It's different.
I think about with my own kids, you let them do things for the first time. You let them do things that they believe they couldn't, and then they can do it. And then they're like, whoa, daddy, you see me do that? I imagine he's getting some of that similar sort of joy from sharing that. And I think that's just beautiful.
I just found it incredible. So I invite anybody to check out that show with Jeremy Ryan I had a conversation with where the most important thing to him was being empathetic when he went into water to surf. So Dai Manuel, you have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you next Friday. We're going to say goodbye to the audience, and I'm going to stop the show right now. I'm going to do this. Watch this. We're going to watch the closer out of here.
Oh, it's so pretty.
There we go. We're out of here, pal. I'm going to hit the stop. See you guys.
See you, Keith.